Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I will be playing some X-Plane 11. I am currently at Bergen Airport Flesland and I will be flying to Oslo Gardermoen. The airframe today will be the Boeing 737-800. This is the ZIBO-mod and delivery is SAS, which is made by Pushback. All of the resources will be linked in the description. The flight time today will be approximately 45 minutes. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful flight. It is a nice weather here and a nice weather at Oslo. A little fun fact about this route today is that SAS actually flies this in real life with the exact same aircraft at exact same departure time, which is 8 in the morning. The time now is 7:30, which means I have approximately 30 minutes to get the plane ready for departure. I will be using the X checklist just to add to the realism. So let's go ahead and get the battery on here. We have landing gear down and 3 greens, awesome. Let's do our fire tests. And our sweep switches here. And jump over to the avatar plugin and connect the GPU. Position lights come to steady. I'm not going to use the wheel light or the wing light as those are for exterior inspection, and I will not be doing an exterior inspection in this video. Don't need logo light. Electronic hydraulic pumps can come on, and we can open the service and cargo doors here. There we are. So if we jump to our flight plan, which I got from simbrief.com, you can see that our block fuel today will be 5590, and I'm going to put 6000 just so we have a little extra. We're going to have 0.4 extra. Let's go to we go to fuel and put 6000 there, and we call the fuel truck.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
Start the service cruise. And let's go ahead and turn off the panel lighting here. There we are. Emergency exit light, the attend. And the flap indicator is at 0, and if you choke the flap lever, it is at 0. Awesome. Takeoff configuration test. Left and right. So you go down to our fire test and do the cargo fire test there. Turn off the panel lighting. So I believe the Halon fire extinguisher is this one, and it is green. So we can check it. We have a circuit breaker panel right here and right there. I'm not going to check those, but what I believe you do in real life is you check if any of the fuses have popped. So you stand here and see if any of them have popped out. I'm just going to check it. The emergency escape rope for the first officer is there. You can check it. Let's go ahead and jump up to the flight recorder and put it to test. And do the Mac airspeed warning tests. So I believe we are a little bit early to do the stall warning, as those need 6 minutes to charge up. So check it. Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm going to align the IRSs here. Switch it to hedge. There are 9 minutes. I can do the microphone selector to FLT here. And I can check the emergency escape rope for the captain, which is right there. And the breaker panel, I want to check it. So if you jump to the outside, you can see that we are loading the food and the cargo. So the plugin I'm using here is the simple ground handling, I believe. I will link it in the description. In real life, there is very little food service on this flight, as it is a short one. But it looks nice to have the 2 footworks on the outside. Let's go ahead and test the stall warning test. Still a little early. Still need a few seconds.
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Awesome. There we are. Check those. We can do a master light test there. Check if any of the bulbs are broken. Everything here looks to be in order or okay. Yeah, everything looks alright. Awesome. Now the autopilot disconnect lights 1 and 2 for the captain and 1 and 2 for the first officer. Let's go ahead and test the pilot oxygen mask here. And turn up the panel brightness. The clock is UTC as we can see, and the airport button is right there. Train radar is there. Let's go ahead and set our minimums here today, switch it to Barrow, and our minimums will be 1200 as the elevation of Bergen Airport is 166. Go ahead and do the HPA, which will be 1014. Do the same for the first officer, 1014, and the barrel will be 1200. There we are. First officer oxygen mask. Let's go and test it. Panel lighting is set, and the ground systems test are right there. Talk GTC.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Terrain.
We have done the minimums.
Pull up. Obstacle.
You can close the doors here,
Pull up.
at least the service and cargo doors. Go ahead and open the forward entry. We will not be using the after entry today, so I'm going to check it. If we jump back over to our flight plan, you can see that our zero fuel weight today will be estimated 59.1 and maximum of 62.7, and our payload will be 17.4. So if we jump to payload, there we are. Just let it load up here. So a zero fuel weight of 60.5, and our flight plan was maximum. Remember, we do have some extra fuel. Our maximum was 62.7, which means we are in between, which is a good sign. And if we had the 62.7, we would have had 9.5 tons fuel, I believe. Let's go ahead and start the flight leg, and go ahead and program the FMC here. The model is 737-800. The engine rating is 26k. Check it. Now database is out of date. That isn't too much to worry about. Let's go ahead and type in our reference airport, which will be ENBR, which is Bergen. Here we are. And the gate is 26. Grab the GPS here. And the destination is ENGM, which is Gardermoen, Oslo Gardermoen. The flight number will be the same as in real life, Scandinavian 246. And the runway we'll be taking off from today is 17. You can check those. Departure, we will be using the GoCa2C departure. and for arrival today we will be using ILS 01 left with the Adobe 3 left star and then transition of Valpu. Let's go ahead and jump into our route here, and I believe we will have one discontinuity. Yep. So if we jump to our flight plan, you can see that our top of climb is right after GoCab. We have a Ulvan, and then we have top of descent right before Adobe, so we are missing Ulvan. Let's go ahead and type in Ulvan and take up to, oops, there we are. And now we do not have any discontinuities. Switch to plan and check that everything looks alright. There is Ulvan, Adobe, and then we go into the arrival at Gardermoen, and here is runway 01 left at Oslo. Everything is looking super. Route is activated, and the zero free weight is, one second here, is looking fine. Yes, and reserves is 0.4 for the fuel. Cost index, I like to put 21. I do not know what SAS or any other airline use, but for me I just like to put 21. Our planned fuel today will be 5.6. And our cruising altitude will be, top of climb is at 310, so 31,000 feet. And our transitioning altitude here today will be 6,000. You can check it. And our first waypoint after top of climb is Ulvan. So if you check our chart here, you can see that the departure chart for ENBR runway 17. We are headed to input, and our initial climb clearance is 6,000. So maintain last assigned level until passing input, then climb to cruising level stated in flight plan. And after input we will start our climb to 31,000 feet. And here is GoCab at heading 105. And this is the GoCab 2C. Let's go ahead and put the yaw damper on. And we can go ahead and start the fuel pumps and start the APU. Check the crossfeed valve here. Everything looks alright. So the APU will use approximately 1 minute to start and stabilize before it will be available on the bus. There it goes. Go ahead and just set the altitude 6,000 initial climb, and the heading is 170, which is our takeoff runway. And our course will be 105, I believe, because that is where GoCab is located. There we are. And the APU is available. Let's go ahead and turn the fasten seatbelt signs to on as we are done refueling, and the window heats to on.
Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please
2840 and 2810 for the system low pressure. Let's go ahead and put the engine beige up.
All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
There we are. If you look at the cabin pressure here, it's 0, and the cabin difference is 0, and the climb is showing 0. Our cruising altitude is 31,000, and our landing altitude will be approximately 650. So we can check those. Whoops, let's go ahead and turn trim air on and set our air conditioning here. Turn on the air conditioning. And let's go ahead and turn on the captain's flight director as well as the first officer here. Switch on now an LNAV. Departure heading will be 170, that is set. Initial climb clearance will be 6000, which is set. And I want to check it. Auto brakes to reject the takeoff. Fuel flow, let's go ahead and reset it. I will not be using any com frequencies out of Bergen, only for the glide slope ILS into Oslo. Just go ahead and check the microphone selectors here. Whoops. Which will be VHF 1 for the captain and VHF 2 for the first officer. Let's go ahead and close the flight deck door here. Oh, actually disconnect the GPU as well. And we have checked our departure arrival route points and arrays. Ground distance is good, landing fuel is good, route is executed, clock is good. Expected taxiing route, let's go ahead and check the chart. So we are right now at gate 26 and we will be pushing out to Whiskey, taking a left at Echo and following Yankee all the way down to Alpha 2. This is runway 17. So it is checked. Runway is 17, departure, climbing altitude is 6000. I will just check the normal checklist. I'm not going to go through it. Let's go ahead and do the passenger announcement.
Fox, this is Captain speaking. We're just final preparation here for departure from the gate. Maintenance is wrapping up one final item that they needed to take care of before we depart. So pretty close to right on schedule today. Should be just a few more minutes. Maintenance will wrap up, hand us our logbook, and we'll be on our way. Thanks for your patience.
We jump back to the FMC here. You can see takeoff will be 5, and our VREF today will be 147. Let's go ahead and enter it. And our trim air will be our trim will be 4.5. So if you jump, oops, down here, you see it is at 5, so we're going to trim it down. And there we are. And we can go ahead and turn cut back on. Check it. Initial altitude will be 6000. Let's go and turn on the anti-collision light there. And turn off the left and right air conditioning here. Let's go ahead and bring up the better pushback plugin and start our pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
So as you can see, we will be pushing back to Whiskey and then taking a left at Echo.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Everyone's strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
You can see the tow is right there. And it looks like, as I said in the start of the video, I believe it's going to be a beautiful flight. Very nice weather here and very nice weather at Oslo. So the time right now is 7:52, which means we should be taking off in approximately 8 minutes to be on time.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Goes lifting the nose up. I think is really nice is that this is a SAS tow and this is a SAS.
Tow connected and bypass pin in service. Release parking brake.
So let's go ahead and release the parking brake, and while we do that you can see the gate.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
go ahead and start engine number 2 and pay attention to the N2. Need 25%, and then we'll connect the fuel or open the fuel valve. There we are. You can see it is coming alive here. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Do the same thing. Pay attention to the N2. Reaching 25%. And there we are. You can see the engine is coming alive right here. Let's go and switch to the engine generators and turn the APU off and turn the engine switches to continuous. Turn probe heat, ENBR on, and turn back the air conditioning, as well as turning off the APU bleed, as well as the isolation valve to auto. So if you take a look outside, you can see both engines are alive.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by. Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. Well, see you next time and have a safe flight.
So let's go ahead and wait for the bypass pin. And there we are. Awesome. So let's go ahead and set our flaps to 5, which will be our takeoff flaps, and press the system and check our flight controls. So full forward, full back, full left, full right, to the rudder here. So full left, which doesn't seem to be working right now. I'm going to check it. I can see it is moving, so I'm going to check it. Let's go and recall and contact ATC, turn on the taxi lights right here, and our runway turn off lights. Let's go and disengage the parking brake and press the engine button. There we are. Let's do a takeoff configuration test there. Looking good. And test our brakes. They are working. Let's go ahead and put the lightning here to take off, and do chimes only for the cabin crew. So let's go ahead and taxi to runway 17 and the exit Alpha 2. So let me go ahead and bring up the departure chart here. And there we are. So we will be taking off in this direction and to inputs, and then start our climb and start our climb to 31,000 feet. So here you can see Alpha 3 and we are going to Alpha 2, which is right there. So the local time right now is 8:01, which means we are 1 minute over time, but I think that is acceptable. We will be taking off shortly. So we are turning left here. There is some uphill here, so let me go ahead and add a little bit of thrust. And let's do a quick stop right there. So the position light can come to strobe, and the landing lights can come on. All throttle is armed, and set the clock timer. Whoops. Left side is clear and right side is clear. Let's go ahead and taxi onto runway 17 and take off. Let's go ahead and line up here. And here we are. So I'm going to stabilize the engine at 40% here before I hit toga. And toga. Airspeed is alive.
80 knots.
Check.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
$400. $1,000.
Let's go ahead and activate the autopilot. You go ahead and retract the flaps to the 1 position. And retract the flaps fully. So the landing gear lever comes to off, the all brakes comes to off, engine start switches can come to auto, and the cabin pressure is pressurizing and we are climbing. Everything there is looking good. So a little bit standard and standard right there. So let's go ahead and gain some height before we release the flight attendants. Great. I believe this is Sutra, and I was the right somewhere in there. I may be wrong, but I believe this is Sutra all the way. The garden. So sorry to any people from Bergen if I'm wrong. You can see we are reaching our top of climb in a second here, but we will also soon be switching to the BR531. There we are. Let's go ahead and climb to our cruising altitude, which will be, oops, which will be 31,000. I think I have to press, yeah, there we are. So let's go ahead and release the cabin crew. And the auto throttle is a little bit off here today. Not sure why. Oops. There we are. So as you can see on the departure here, you can see we have gone across Unput and we are across BR531 and we are heading to Ekrel. And if you look at the FMC, you can see Ekrel is right there with a maximum of 250 knots. So everything is looking smooth. So we will soon be passing 10,000 feet. You go ahead and turn off the landing lights. Wait, turn off lights, taxi lights can come off. Cabin pressure is still looking good. We are climbing and the cabin altitude is approximately 10,000 feet, which we are on. The fast seatbelt can come to auto and we do a recall. The the auto throttle, the left engine right here is acting a bit strange. Go ahead and just double check. I believe there was something wrong with my position of the gear levers on the hardware. I think this will fix it. Very nice. The heading bag, we can go ahead and put 012 as that is our landing heading to Oslo. Everything is looking nice. Scenery quite beautiful actually. Not much to complain about from previous flight. Weather is nice and not a lot of winds, and the visibility is very good. Very nice. So I'll return when we are nearing our top of climb, and I'll start preparing the descent and talk through the landing. In the meantime, enjoy the view. So as you can see, we
1,000 to go.
are nearing our top of climb here. If we head to our flight plan, our top of climb should have been straight before Urban, but because of some troubles with the auto throttle, I believe the physical hardware that I have here glitched a little bit actually, so the auto throttle disarmed. We are a little bit late on the climb, but nothing to worry too much about, as we'll do it to the descent a little bit faster than normal, but nothing too crazy. So if we head to the arrival chart at Gardermoen, you can see at Topi there is a maximum of 250 knots, and at Nivdu there's a maximum of 250 knots. But at Golf Mike 402 there's a strict flight level of 10,000 and a maximum of 220 knots. So before Golf Mike 402 we need to be at flight level 100, which shouldn't be a problem. So let's go ahead and turn the altitude to 1700, as that will be our minimums at Oslo. There we are. And hit the oh, come on. Oh. There we are. Awesome. So we have now started our descent to down to Adopi, and there will be a maximum of 250 knots. So if we see, check out the approach chart, you can see that we are transferring from our transition Valpu, heading 072 to Ugras, and then heading 012 to Sikla. And at Sikla we will be intercepting our glide slope at 3,500 feet approximately, and the minimum for the ILS will be 856 feet, I believe. Minimums in general will be 1700, as the elevation is 650 something. Don't know if it's here. Anyway, the elevation is approximately 650. Yeah, there are. Sorry, 656, and the airport elevation is 681, which means it's going to be a 1700 minimums. So if we miss the approach, it's going to be climbed on heading 012 to 5000, expect vectoring by Oslo approach, which is coming from the west, so it will be the 120.450, and the ground will be 121.605. And I have already, put those in, 120.450 and 121.605, and the ILS will be 110.30, and the standby for the missed approach will be 115.95. So the ILS is right there, 110.3, Delta Mark Echo at 012. We can go ahead and adjust our courses to 012. Do the same for the first officer here. Here we are. The maximum speed is 220 knots, which is mandatory from Valpu, and then there is a maximum 200 knots at Ugras, and we will be hitting our reference speed somewhere in the glide slope. So we can go ahead and head down to the FMC and hit the initial reference, and our flaps today will be 30, which means our reference speed will be 148. So if we head over here and we switch it to VREF, you can see 148. There we are, and head it to set. Awesome. so everything is looking good. Yeah, there isn't much else to go through, I believe. If we do not have communication when we miss the approach, it's still going to be a continued climb on 012 to 5000. At Delta 20.0, Oscar Bravo Whiskey, turn left direct to BOR for a new approach. So it's going to be a climb until 5000 at 012, which will be 105.95, I believe. It's our missed approach frequency. So if you look at our arrival, you can see we are past the OP, and there is a maximum 25 knots, so let's go ahead and switch to 250 knots. And we are in a descent there, so I'm going to help a little bit with speed brakes just to get the speed down a little bit quicker. You can see the speed is coming down nicely there. So after Nivdu there is flight level 100, and I believe we are going to be a little bit high, so I will increase the descent to 2500, which is a little bit more than normal, but nothing too extreme. So the next is 220, let's go ahead and adjust our speed here. Yeah, our descent is 2450 feet per minute, 2500, awesome, which means we should be approximately at the flight level 100. And our speed is coming down slowly here. It is coming down, but slowly. There is a Golf Mike 402 coming up. Turn off the rocket speed and let the autopilot take over again. We should see our speed start to slow down in a second here. I'm going to kill the speed brake. Whoops, my bad. There we are, 220. So the speed is coming down, and the altitude is coming down, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and actually program it. I see that there is a mistake here. There we are. You see the speed is coming down to 220. Awesome. Take a look outside. Beautiful weather, beautiful visibility. Stunning. So we're going to pass all the golf marks here, and at golf mark 455, sorry. We're going to take a left heading 041 to that transitioning point, which will be Valpu. And there's a maximum of 200 knots, same as here, and a 5,000 and above flight level. So I will return again once we have, once we are nearing Valpu. Then I'll switch to discharge, and you will see the approach we are going to follow into Oslo. So I'm going to say the same thing as I said last time. Enjoy the view. So as we are passing 10,000 feet, let's go ahead and turn the landing lights on. And switch to our local here. The frequency is set, course is set, altitude bug is good. Landing performance is executed. And auto brakes, let's go ahead and put it to 2. Let's go ahead and, whoops, forgot to switch it to cruise. Let's go ahead and stand and do the announcement. We have the descent first, actually. So left and right. The low light doesn't need it. Fasten seatbelt on to on. So it is a beautiful day today, beautiful day. So if you head back to our charts, let's go ahead and do the prepare for landing. You can see that we are nearing Valpu. The airspeed after Valpu is going to be 200 at Ogras. So once we have passed Valpu, I'm going to adjust our airspeed here. Let's go ahead. So we are flying over Oslo at the moment. See the Oslo Central Station right there. So if we check the map. Here we are. Straight over Oslo. So the speed is a little too high. Let's go ahead and help with the speed brakes to get it down. We'll soon be passing Valpu here. So I'm actually going to turn the speed in a second here down to the VRF speed, which was 148, wasn't it? Yes, it was 148. So 200 first and then 148, so 200. See, the speed is coming down, and I'll soon turn do flaps 1. So flaps 1. That's going to help with the drag. Get the speed a little bit down. So it is fighting me here a little bit. Let's go ahead and do, once we have aligned the 40 runway, I'm going to do speed 148. You can see we are passing Ogras in a second here. It's maximum 200 knots, and we'll be intercepting the ILS at 01211 0.3, and DME, you can see the DME there. So should have the runway in sight here in a second. If I zoom in, you can see runway 01 left is right there. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do speed 180, just to bring it a little bit more down. Do flaps 5. And the auto thrust is back bit weird today. See, the speed is coming down nicely. See the diamonds right there for the ILS. Let's go ahead and bring the gear down and turn the speed to our VREF.
2500.
Turn our flaps to 30. Let's go and hit the approach button. You can see ILS has locked in. Solid diamonds. So we're going to turn this to 5000 as that is our missed approach. And the glide slope is now going to bring us down. And the flaps is 30. Let's go ahead and switch the engine switches to continuous. Recall. Speed brake lever is armed. Oops, is armed. And taxi light is on. So we have 2 red and 2 white puppy lights. Everything is looking smooth. Let's go ahead and do a quick. Beautiful, beautiful looking. Is still a little bit weird. I'm so sorry for the technical issues I am having right there, or if it is something I'm doing wrong. If it is something I'm doing wrong, please comment down below so I can learn. So we have hit our VREF speed at 148. Flaps is good, landing gear 3 greens, and the approach button has been hit. Missed approach is set, and our heading and course are set to the landing runway here. I actually forgot to set the minimums. Let's go and do that. Whoops. Let's go ahead and set our minimums real quick here, which will be 1700. There we are.
Approaching minimums.
There we are.
Minimums.
Continue. So we still have 2 red and 2 white.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Going to disconnect the autopilot right there.
Approaching minimums.
And I'll disconnect the auto throttle. It's a bit too low, let's go back.
500.
More thrust there.
400. 300. 200.
A bit too low still.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Reversers. So not the smoothest landing, but it goes it down.
80 knots.
Check. Kill the reverses right there. Kill the speed brakes as well. Auto brakes come to off. And do manual brakes. Speed lever set. Go ahead and retract our flaps. Turn off the terrain radar. For the first officer. And turn off our landing lights there, as we are switching off. And our position back in onto steady. Just gonna take off here. Flight directors can come off. The airspeed can go down to 100. Altitude right there. And to check it, let's go ahead and stop here for a second and see where we are headed today. So there actually is one available gate at the domestic today, which means so that is gate 68. So let's go ahead and do the lighting here and turn our probe heats off, and then it starts to auto. Go ahead and start the APU. So if we bring up our stand, so 68 right there, so Delta Hotel. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up the full airport chart. So we'll be taxiing from Victor, then Papa, and Delta 1 Hotel and Delta until, yeah. So we are headed, I believe we are headed, what is that? Is that Papa? Yeah, so that is Papa, and then Delta straight ahead. So we're headed straight ahead. Let's go and switch to the APU generator here real quick and turn off engine number 2. Right here. We're heading to Delta, so that's straight ahead, but we are heading, so Delta and then Delta 1, yep, straight ahead, and then a right. Yep, I think, let's go and just double check it. Taking a right here. I hope the gate is still available. It was when I looked at it for a second there. Here we are, gate 68, awesome. So we are taking a left here to gate 68. little bit more. There we are. So let's go ahead and turn off the runway, turn off lights and the taxi light. And set the parking brake. And shut down engine number 2. See the gate is coming here. So once engine number 2 is coming off here, yeah, let's go and turn off the anti-collision lights and open the flight deck door. Also connect the GPU here and switch it on. Turn off the APU and release the cabin crew. Turn off the electrical hydraulic pumps and isolation valve comes open. So the lighting come to white bright. Go ahead and open the cargo doors and the service doors. So, oops, service. There we are. Stop the tracking 5405 and terminate the flight leg. In a second, let's go ahead and split the payload to 0. Yeah. So the landing rating was. The landing was not great, but it worked. And that will be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.